A very warm welcome to you and thank you for joining us here on Hope TV News Watch, where we bring you stories making headlines across the country and beyond. My name is Grace Wangui and my sign language interpreter tonight is Fiona Moresa. Now, private hospitals now say they will bar all patients depending on their National Health Insurance Fund cover from accessing services beginning February this year. This is according to the Kenya Association of Private Hospitals, which said an agreement reached between them and NHIF has come to an end and no renewal talks have been initiated since the new terms of engagement do not favor their cause. The association said it had received notable complaints from a number of facilities over the non-payment claims. And as Kennedy Kimani now reports, the NHIF Amendment Bill 2021, which members of Parliament passed on the 21st of December and is now awaiting President Uhuru Kenyatta's assent, allows the fund to review rates paid to contracted facilities once every 2 years.
Private hospitals will from Tuesday cease offering services to patients using the NHIF cover. According to the Kenya Association of Private Hospitals, the contract with NHIF, which ends on the 31st of January, has not been extended and renewal talks have not been initiated. During the last review, which ended in June 2021, NHIF had revised downwards the amount of money it pays for claims lodged by private facilities. After expiry of the contract in June last year, the fund and private hospitals extended services by another 7 months, which comes to an end on the 31st of January 2022. Part of the statement by the association read, and I quote, "Due to the long-standing relation with the NHIF, we have heard our members' plea of claims of non-payments to our facilities. The health professional bodies had faulted the engagement done in the process of developing the contracts, saying the benefit packages are aimed at lowering the quality of health services in the country." End of quote. The private hospital sector has been at loggerheads with the insurer of a number of issues. Recently, more than 800 private hospitals had sued NHIF over the newly introduced biometric registration, with the hospitals claiming that they were given a limited time to comply with the new changes, which further affected patients' access to the service. Among the complaints from the private hospitals is that the biometric system is not recognized by the NHIF Act. Kennedy Kimani, Hope TV News Watch.
Thank you, Kennedy, for that report. Now, the Siaya County government now wants the national government to move the bodies recovered from River Yala to City Mortuary in Nairobi to create space at the Yala Sub-County Hospital morgue. Siaya County Governor Colonel Rasanga said the presence of the 24 bodies at the morgue has stretched services at the facility that has a capacity of handling only 16 bodies. Addressing the press from his boardroom in Siaya town, Rasanga, who was flanked by the County Secretary Joseph Ogutu and County Executive Committee members, said the hospital is incurring a lot of expenses in preserving bodies, resources that should otherwise be channeled to other areas. To date, the hospital has spent over 500,000 in preservation of the bodies that were retrieved from River Yala.
Currently, the mortuary has a total of 38 bodies, out of which 24 bodies are recoveries from River Yala, while 14 bodies are from various hostels or community sources. This is way beyond its capacity of 16 bodies and has seriously compromised the quality of this critical service at the facility. Further, the preservation of these bodies over the period they have been at our mortuary has been costly to the hostel, and this too has affected other services at the facility as our resources have been redirected to mortuary services. In view of the above grave concerns, I strongly appeal to the national government through its investigative agencies to carry out in-depth investigations in order to unravel the circumstances under which these bodies ended up in the river, and where criminal culpability is established, the perpetrators of the despicable, heinous crimes be brought to book through our criminal justice system.
Now, former officials of the National Social Security Fund, NSSF, and a firm Discount Security Limited have been found guilty of making payment from NSSF to Discount Security Limited amounting to 1.6 billion shillings. Francis Moturi Zuriels, William Githaiga Murungu, David Murungu Githaiga, Wilfred Munyoro Weru, Isaac Nyakundi Nyamongo, alongside Discount Securities Limited, have been found guilty and will be sentenced on Monday. They are accused of defrauding NSSF 1.6 billion shillings by buying non-existent shares between August 2002 and July 2007. Trial Magistrate Lawrence Mugambi found them guilty of conspiracy, and their charges include fraudulent acquisition of public property, fraudulently making payment from a public revenue company, willful failure to comply with procedures relating to procurement of property, neglect of public duty, among other charges. Now, Chief Justice Martha Koome has challenged all judicial officers to live up to their oath of office as they deliver justice to Kenyans. Speaking on Friday during the launch of the Judicial Service Commission JSC Strategic Plan for 2022-2027 and the revised Code of Conduct and Ethics, Koome said judicial officers must uphold integrity at all times. Koome urged all judicial staff to work towards protecting the image of the judiciary in efforts to achieve excellent service delivery, adding that the newly revised Code of Conduct and Ethics will comprehensively guide the behavior and conduct of judges, judicial officers, and judiciary staff. The CJ further called upon Kenyans to collaborate with the judiciary in enhancing public trust and confidence in the legislative arm of the government, while assuring speedy conclusion of all complaints pending before JSC.
Through a highly participatory process.
We are also launching the revised Judicial Service Code of Conduct and Ethics Regulations, which speaks to the Commission's strategic focus on fostering accountability in the judiciary. When we speak about independence, we speak about accountability as well, because this judicial authority that is given to us, we must be accountable to the public every day. How have we utilized the resources that are put before us? How are we utilizing the time that we are paid to be in the positions that we have? The revised Code of Conduct and Ethics enumerates the values and standards of conduct in a very clear and comprehensive manner to guide the behavior and conduct of judges, judicial officers, and our judiciary staff. The code envisages fundamental change in mindset and attitudes from all of us who have chosen to work in the judiciary. It demands that we collectively and individually work towards protecting the image of the judiciary. We all know when one of us has, we all suffer corporate embarrassment. So we must work together, we must support each other, we must follow this conduct and embrace excellence in service delivery.
Now, scrap metal dealers in Narok Town have pleaded with President Uhuru Kenyatta to lift the ban on scrap metal business, since they depend on the business for their livelihood. They said all they need to do is prove to the government that their businesses were clean. On the contrary, some town dwellers have welcomed the president's move to ban scrap metal business, saying the dealers have destroyed infrastructure, hence compromising development in the country. President Kenyatta banned any exports or dealings in scrap metal after the increased incidents of vandalism that affected the Kenya Power Company transmission cables, causing the country to experience blackouts.
Tukipenda tufugio sisi wote, kwa sababu sisi tupendi mambo ya wale watu wanaiba vitu wakileta kwa masto. Sasa sisi tunabeba msalaba ya watu wengine wanafanya kazi baya, wanaenda wanaiba vitu. Hata sisi tunapata shida kwa sababu ya kutuletea labda store na tujui walitoa hizo vitu wapi. wanakuja wanatuletea, tukisijua tunakataa kununua. Sisi tunaomba rais atuangalilie hii hali, kwa sababu tuko kwa shida sana. Watoto kukula ni shida, wengine wanasoma na hizi pesa za skrebo. Mimi kutoka Alhamisi mpaka saa hizi, mimi kukula na kukunywa sina kitu ya kukula au kukunywa.
Tuko kwa shida kwa sababu hii sekta inalisha watu wengi, wadogo na wakubwa. Hii sekta iko na kategori mingi. Iko wale wadogo wa kucollect, kuna ule analeta anakuuzia, wewe unauzia mwingine, mwingine anauzia mwingine. So how many people are being employed there? From the down to the top. We are the down ones. Sisi tu employ watu wawili. Mwenye gari I employ driver na watu wengine watatu. Mwenye kampuni I employ labda 50 people. How many people are losing? Sisi singles mother hatuna mabwana, sisi ndio tunalea watoto wetu. Na hiyo kazi, hiyo shilingi moja tunapata. Na sasa tunaomba president atuangalie sisi wa mama.
Kuna watu wameumia na tunaomba serikali ifungue. Wale watu ambaye wanafanya kwenda kuchukua vitu ambaye ni vitu ya kusaidia wengi, haifai. Wanafaa wachukuliwe hatua ile serikali inaweza kuchukua, kwa sababu sio mzuri mtu kuchukua kitu na hii kitu inasaidia watu wengi. Kama kuna mtu ako na hiyo wazo ya kuchukua kitu ambaye inasaidia watu wengi, mimi ningeomba huyo mtu akabiliwe kisheria, lakini asikue watu wawili watatu wanafanya Kenya mzima watu waumie. Kuna watu wengi sana wameathirika.
Meanwhile, the Kenya National Highways Authority has lauded the ban on the trade in scrap metal, saying it will tame vandalism of road installations. KENHA, the National Transport and Safety Authority, NTSA, and the National Police Service say they are working on modalities that will guarantee road safety and stem wanton destruction of installations. KENHA says it is spending a fortune to repair guardrails and road signs which are often vandalized or stolen by thieves.
What is unspoken is the danger that we have faced over the years because of vandalism. This came to the media and Kenyans were concerned, but we should equally be concerned about vandalism on road infrastructure and generally infrastructure in itself, because we build this infrastructure out of a lot of money contributed by taxpayers, and really there's no reason why we should incur such expense and then vandalize it again and be able to, it doesn't bring enough returns to society, and I think it's important that this menace be stopped.
Since the beginning of the year, that is this January, all the way to 25th of this January, we've, the statistics we have, which we've gotten from the National Police Service, gives us a figure of 349 deaths, and majority of them are the vulnerable road users. Here we are talking about pedestrians, the pedestrians, the border cyclists, motorcyclists that is, and their passengers. And that contribution is about 70% of road traffic crashes. We always say one death is one too many. So any of these deaths are quite not acceptable, even injuries. Much of the rise of the fatalities are due to the increase of the number of vehicles, in particular border. We always register up to 30,000 border every year in the Republic of Kenya, and this has been the major cause. If you see our statistics, currently border deaths are up to 40%, having risen from as little as 5% over 15 years ago to the current about 40% contribution of all fatalities.
Let's take our fast break here, and Hope TV News Watch will be back with more stories. Don't go away.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content, of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Fat or thin, and for me, I don't consider myself fat. I consider myself good for my purpose, to hug women. When they come crying and they come and hug me, they just come and I hug them and they cry and cry and cry until they are comfortable.
We praise together, we praise Him.
Hope TV is now available on GoTV Channel 103, Zuku Channel 873, Signet Channel 817 and Star Times Channel 026. Enjoy our uplifting content and family-friendly programming anytime. Hope TV, you look and live.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, casual workers at the Nyamaguna Water Project in Gobit ward of Laikipia County are demanding salary arrears from a local contractor whom they claim had not paid them their dues since 2020. The 130 casual employees claim that efforts to seek audience with the management of Yellow House contractors were yet to bear fruit as they only received empty promises on their demands. They now fear they will be unable to meet their living expenses. Local leaders, including Laikipia Central Deputy Commissioner Joshua Marete and Gobit Ward MCA Robert Minor, have called on the contractor to pay the residents or else take action against them.
Tumepewa compulsory leave na tukaambiwa hata mkitaka tuonyeshe message kwa hapa yenye tuliandikiwa ya message ya compulsory leave. Ilhali sasa tuko compulsory leave, hatukuambiwa ni leave ya nini tumepewa. Mkiangalia pale kuna ofisi inaendelea, kuna watu wanafanya kazi. Pale juu kuna maprabas wengine wameandikwa. So sisi tulikuwa tunataka ni vizuri tumepewa compulsory leave, lakini watupee pesa yetu.
Kutoka mwaka wa 2020 mwezi wa 3 mpaka mwezi tarehe 2021 mwezi wa 3 ile kazi walifanyisha yote hawakulipa deni hata moja.
Tulifanya kazi hapa tukapewa kazi na Yellow House kusiba mitaro na kufunika, na tukafanya hiyo kazi kujitolea mwili na roho, na hatukulipwa maagano tulikuwa tumeagana naye, mishahara hatukupata. Na hiyo wakati tulikuwa tunafanya hiyo kazi, hapa kulikuwa na kiangazi, wengine ni wasasi, hata walikuwa wanafanya hiyo kazi ili walipe karo na watoto wao wapate riziki, lakini hatukupata hiyo deni.
Kuna malalamishi, na malalamishi ni wale watu ambao wamekuwa kwa kazi wakifanya kazi na hawajalipwa. Ni vizuri wajue ya kwamba hii kamati ambayo imechaguliwa sio ama kamati yenyewe sio iko na pesa yao. Pesa yao iko na contractor ambaye ni Yellow House, na nimeita mmoja wao ambao nitaongea pale, mwenye tutasema awalipe hiyo pesa kwa muda wa mwezi mmoja, aweze kuwalipa, na kwa sababu walisimamishwa kigafla waweze kulipwa pesa zao ili hata wao waweze kufurahia. Tulikuwa na madam moja hapa na vijana wengine hapa wakasema kuna wengine hawajalipwa kutoka 2019, kuna wengine wako na deni ya miaka 2. So hiyo maneno yote tutaweza kuitatua leo ili hao watu kama wamefutwa kazi waweze kuenda na pesa zao.
Haya malalamiko tumeyapata na tumeongea na some of the wafanyikazi, wale wengine wamesema hawajalipwa, na tutaweza kuchukua hatua ile inastahili kumuita yule contractor ama mwenye anahusika na hiyo mambo ya malipo, na tumuulize ni kwa nini hawa watu hawajalipwa, kwa sababu ni haki yao. na kama tutaweza kuelewana wataweza kulipwa, na tusipoelewana basi tutachukua haya maneno katika ofisi ya labor, because hiyo ni mzozo ambaye ni ya kiufanyikazi.
Now, grassroots political professionals lobby group now wants the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, to come clear on voter transfers. The group, led by the Kisauni Sub-County Chairman, Caleb Ngwena, said the IEBC has set up many protocols that make it hard for common Kenyan voters to transfer their votes. The Sub-County Chair also noted that for the last 2 years, COVID-19 pandemic triggered a massive migration of Kenyans due to economic crisis, and it is inconceivable for them to go back to the areas where they registered to get letters from the area chief. He feared that about 40,000 Mombasa County residents will not be able to participate in August general elections due to the stringent measures on voter transfer.
The problem is that voting registration, there is apathy, because IEBC depended on the young generations, but understand that their turning out has been not all that favorable. So there's slowdown, there's apathy in voting, in voting registration. Another thing we're also getting is that transferring votes, we're also getting a problem, because they have given restrictions on the procedure that if you want to transfer your vote, you must have a letter from area chief. These are implications avoiding people to go and transfer, because every year there is transfer, these movements, urban to rural. And some people are here. About 40,000 people are going to be locked out in voting because they have not transferred their votes. So I appeal to the IEBC to remove this restriction. Let people transfer their vote the way it used to be. At least that's how it should be. Therefore, after we have registered, we are going to make sure that Baba aingie Ikulu. That is our motto.
Our advice to ODM election board, this time round, we are calling upon for free and fair election. Please give us a chance, give us an opportunity, a conducive environment to elect a leader whom we want. A leader who is committed, responsible, who show up for duties. We need a leader who is courageous, bold enough to disagree and agree. A leader who is eloquent, who is ready to communicate, address issues affecting the mwananchi. We need a leader who is capable to identify the resources within the mwananchi and make use for the benefit of mwananchi. We need a leader who we have confidence in him and us confident in us. We need a leader who is a policy maker, not a noise maker. We need leaders who are representers, not pretenders. This time round, hatutaki domokaya.
Now for some politics, joint popularization campaigns between Deputy President William Ruto, NC party leader Musalia Mudavadi, and Ford Kenya's Moses Wetangula took them to Bungoma and Kakamega counties. The three leaders expressed optimism in working together, taking a hit at those who are opposed to their unity. While speaking to Malava residents, Ruto said their new unity was based on consultation with residents during past events. Wetangula and Mudavadi opined that their newly formed friendship will have a lot of gains for Kenyans. Musalia tore at President Uhuru Kenyatta for his support of ODM's Raila Odinga, referring to him as a president's project.
Tukiwa na wao wanasema sisi ni wazuri, tukitafuta marafiki wengine sisi tunakuwa wabaya. Hiyo utapeli hatukubali. Sisi kama watu ambao wana heshima yao, watu ambao wamekomaa kisiasa, tuna haki, tuna ukweli, na tunaweza kuchagua rafiki tunayemtaka, rafiki anayeaminika, rafiki mwenye tunaweza kutembea safari naye, rafiki mwenye tunaweza kubadilisha Kenya naye. Tukienda kutengeneza serikali, kwa sababu tunajua this thing is done. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. It's a done deal.
We must have free and fair elections. Na hii coalition tunatengeneza, tunataka iwe coalition ambaye inatambua Mkenya yote, whether you're a minority or a majority, whether you're a woman or a man, whether you're a boy or a girl, whether you are living with disabilities or without disabilities. It must be truly a rainbow coalition. A rainbow coalition that captures the breadth and width of the Kenyan nation. We want it to stand for freedom. We want it to stand for democracy. We want it to stand for justice. We want it to stand for equality. And we want it to stand for an economy that works for all, so that muweke pesa mfukoni.
Tumeungana kwa sababu tuko na mpango. We have a plan. We have an agenda. We have a vision for a nation that is united and a nation that is prosperous. Ndio mimi nawaambia tukiwa hapa Ingo, agenda yetu namba moja, nataka munisikize watu wa hapa Ingo. Agenda yetu namba 1, tumesema tunaweka pesa ya serikali ya kutosha zaidi ya bilioni 100 kupanga priority number 1, ajira ya hawa vijana wetu wa Kenya. Mulisikia Omwami Musalia Mudavadi akiongea Jumapili, na alikuwa anaongea lugha moja na hasla na hawa watu wengine kubadilisha uchumi wa Kenya. Wale tunashindana na wao wanasema agenda yao ya kwanza ni kubadilisha katiba. Sisi tunawaambia hapana, agenda yetu namba 1 ni kubadilisha uchumi, tupange ajira ya hawa vijana kwanza.
Still in politics, Kilifi Governor Amason Kingi has renewed calls for land reforms and inclusivity of the coastal region in the government that will come after the August 2022 general election. Kingi, who is the Pamoja African Alliance party leader, said his party will ensure the Azimio la Umoja government sets aside funds to buy land for resettling squatters so as to end the squatter problem. Addressing residents of Chumani area in Matsogani ward, when he began issuing allotment letters to over 274 families, Kingi praised his party, saying it was formed to give the region ability to push for the agenda of the region from the national level.
Kama jamii ya Chumani, ya Kilifi, ya Pwani, tujiulize, je, baada ya tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 tukifanya uamuzi huu utatusaidia vipi sisi kama jamii ya Pwani? Ikiwa uamuzi huu hautatusaidia, tuachane nao. Ikiwa upande huu tukiulalia utatusaidia, sote tuweke nguvu pale. Maana kila mtu anataka kufaidi changamoto zake, anataka kuziweka pahala ambapo zitapata suluhisho baada ya kupiga kura. Tunasema kwamba uchumi na makao. Bila hivyo ache Raila kuingia miaka 5. Na hii mapande tunajua. Pande baada ya pande lazima serikali ya kitaifa ituambie yule ambaye atakalia kile kitu. Kila mwaka utapanga senti ngapi za kununua hizi ardhi kama mlivyonunua kule Kenya bara. Msinunue na Mpwani agawanyiwe ardhi apate hati miliki kama Mkenya. Na huo ndio msimamo wa PAA. Na kufanya PAA iwe na nguvu lazima mpelekee wabunge wa PAA kule. Ni lazima tugeuze vile tunapiga siasa yetu. Safari hii lazima tuwe wachoyo kama Wapwani. Lazima tuulize una cheo hicho ndani. Ni lazima tuwe wachoyo, tuulize maswali magumu na tujipange.
Now, the Intergovernmental Technical Relations Committee has been invited to solve a land ownership dispute between the county government of Bungoma and the Lake Victoria North Waterworks Development Agency. The county government of Bungoma is accused of constructing a 140 million dairy processing factory on national government land reserved for the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation. Speaking while touring the site, IGRTC Alternative Dispute Resolution Chairman Alfred Kangati said it's important that the two levels of government amicably resolve the dispute. The Webuye Milk Processing Plant, which was commissioned in 2019 by Governor Wycliffe Wangamati, is now complete and ready to offer market to Bungoma dairy farmers.
County government of Bungoma did not follow the right procedure. Waliingia tu kwa shamba ya maji kienyeji. Okay? But now both parties have met, they have expressed their views. There is some understanding that there's nothing we can do with the project. It's already it is in place and is for the benefit of the people of Bungoma and even beyond. Now what we are discussing is whether the county government of Bungoma can find a way of compensating, providing alternative land for the use of Ministry of Water. We have so many disputes. It's not only here in Bungoma. We have been having disputes in Nandi, we have been to Embu, all over the country.
The Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation has embarked on capacity building on committees that manage national government projects in a bid to enhance management. According to Cabinet Secretary Cecily Kariuki, lack of knowledge by committees running various projects has resulted in the collapse of many projects, developmental projects, leading to waste of government resources. The CS at the same time chided a section of politicians who were politicizing government projects, saying they were doing disservice to Kenyans.
Tumechimbiwa boreholes na tumesafishiwa dams na hivyo tumekuwa na usaidizi mkubwa sana leo. Vile kutoka sasa tumekuwa welefu, tutaweza kuchunga hizo, tutaweza kumanage hizo boreholes zetu vizuri na hizo dams. Kimaendeleo tutatumia maji haya kulima na pia itatusaidia kwa kukunywa na pia kwa mifugo yetu.
There is no more carrying mitungi kwa wamama. We won't be carrying mitungi tena. We'll be stay clean always. Hatutakuwa na uchafu. Hata mkiniangalia ninakaa mtu ameoga. Juu maji imekuja. Ingekuwa ni beleni, ningekuwa natafuta mtungi wapi nitaenda kutafuta maji. Tutaangalia hii nini, tutaangalia vizuri sana. Kama mimi niko mmoja wa komiti ya hii maji. Na kwa hivyo tutakuwa tukiangalia vile maji inaenda. Tumeambiwa tusiwe tunakibiria wasiri kumwambia maji imeharibika. Hapana, ni sisi tujipange kwa hii mipango yote ya maji, tujue vile kutakuwa kukiendelea.
Na kwa hivyo hizi timu ambazo zimeundwa kuchunga hii miradi hapa leo wamekuwa na wakurugenzi wakifundishwa ile tunaita kwa kimombo capacity building, ndio waelezwe mambo ya vile watasimamia hii miradi, vile watachunga hii miradi, governance ya maji na vile watakuwa wakisawasisha matumizi ya maji. Ni mradi ama ni mkakati ambao tuko nao kwa nchi mzima, pahali yote tukiwa na mradi mpya ama tukiwa na timu mgeni kwa mradi ya maji, ya unyunyiziaji ama ya usafi, huwa nia ni kwetu serikali kuu kuhakikisha ya kwamba hawa ambao wanasimamia hizi miradi wanapewa ujuzi ili waweze kuendelea na kusimamia hii miradi. Tuseme jukumu letu kuu kama serikali kuu si miradi kuunda miradi pekee. Vile capacity building ni mojawapo ya jukumu ambao tuko nazo kama serikali kuu kwa kila kitu. Kama ni mambo ya afya, kama ni mambo ya kilimo, kama ni mambo ya maji, unyunyiziaji, vile capacity building ni kazi mojawapo ambao tumeachiwa pale ambao si devolved.
The country has recorded 193 new COVID-19 cases from a sample size of 5,207 tested in the last 24 hours. The country's positivity rate now stands at 3.7% as the total number of positive cases rises to 321,111. In a statement from the Ministry of Health, 1,018 patients have recovered from the disease, pushing the total number of recoveries to 294,035. 11 patients have succumbed to the virus, pushing the cumulative fatalities to 5,578. The CS said that a total of 548 patients are currently admitted in various health facilities countrywide, while 4,950 are under the home-based isolation and care program. We go for a second short break here on Hope TV News Watch. We'll be back with more stories. Don't go away.
Hope TV is now available on GoTV Channel 103, Zuku Channel 873, Signet Channel 817 and StarTimes Channel 026. Enjoy our uplifting content and family-friendly programming anytime. Hope TV, you look and live.
From country music, classical quartet harmonics,
Now I'm a child,
homecoming series,
for he saved the worst among
tent revival, and many more.
I'm gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside, down by the riverside.
Watch these great musical adventures on The Bill Gaither Show, featuring Gaither Vocal Band, Linda Randall,
For the God on the mountain.
and many other series like The Alaskan Cruise.
And now I'm feeling mighty fine.
These gospel favorites, recorded in front of beautiful sceneries, guaranteed to rejuvenate your love for gospel music. Bill Gaither Show, only on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Our Christian life is not just about God always stepping in when you are in trouble. But sometimes you need to go through the valley of the shadow of death, and God will say, angels, stand away. He must go through that. She must go through that. Because out of this would come something greater and more beautiful.
Join us every Sunday for unlimited, uplifting, powerful worship, only on Extended Worship.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, Kenya stakeholders in the tourism and travel industries have agreed to partner significantly to resuscitate the sector adversely affected by the restrictions occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic. During a consultative forum hosted by the African Travel and Tourism Association, the stakeholders, who included the Kenya Tourism Board, Kenya Airways, Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, and the tourism sector umbrella bodies under the Kenya Tourism Federation, agreed to correspondingly promote synergies between government and the private sector to enhance tourism and travel in the country and beyond the borders.
We've worked really closely with the Kenyan Tourist Board for many, many years. They've been our partners, and they've supported us tremendously when we needed help and sponsorship, because you can't run an association without sponsorship. So Kenya's always been there at the forefront. They're in fact our major sponsor to our own shows in London and elsewhere. And we were able to work with them over the pandemic to try and keep the message out, and try and get the message out as soon as it started to open up again. And it's not just the UK market we're talking about, because the American market opened up very quickly, and in fact that's what's kept Kenya going in the last couple of years, and that's partly due to the work we've been doing with Kenyan Tourist Board to get the message out that Kenya was open, and if you kept the protocols, which were quite clear, and the same as most countries were doing, in fact.
So like-minded partners is a key aspect of how tourism will open up. Just helping, coming together as partners who have like-minded objectives, who can support each other to mutually beneficial objectives, to be able to open up destinations, but also to provide an opportunity to understand what the new normal is, who the new customer is, and how it is the destinations can plug into what it is the customers are looking for and offer that to them, so that as a destination you come out more competitive, you come out strong and relevant, and are able then to get people to consider and make the choice that they will come to the destination.
Moving on, smallholder tea farmers in Kisii County have been urged to practice diversification as a way of creating more areas of income. Speaking at Ogembo Tea Factory in Kisii County during the graduation ceremony of over 320 farmers who had completed a training on economic empowerment, the Kenya Tea Development Authority Board Chairman David Ichoho called on tea growers to engage more in income-generating activities such as cultivating climate-resistant crops and rearing chicken. Ichoho said the authority, together with the Ministry of Agriculture, will work on subsidizing the cost of fertilizers to cushion farmers.
Tunakubali chai kama hii. Kwenda kwa ile project ya diversification ambao tunasema na wakulima wetu waendelee kufanya kazi nyingine ama investment, hasa kwa upande wa ukulima, ili tuweze kupata pesa kwa njia zingine, tukuwe na stream mingi ya pesa, ili tuweze jamii zetu ziweze kuwa na pesa. Tumepitia miradi kadhaa, na kwanza tulikuwa kwa miche pale wameweka nursery ambazo wanakuza miti ya conservation, nyingine ya matunda na nyingine ya maua ya kurembesha ambao wako na nursery. Tumetitia mahali nyingine ambapo tunaona wako na chickens hatcheries ambazo kupitia foundation yetu imepatia vikundi. Hiyo kikundi tumepitia moja inaitwa BD ambao tumeona wameweka hiyo ma hatcheries ili waweze kuhatch the chickens ambazo zitaweza kutumiwa na wao na zingine wauzie wenyeji wa hii area. Beyond that tumeona production methods ambazo tunataka kutumia hasa kutoa ile miche ambayo imekaa miaka 50 kuenda juu. Tunajaribu kuwasaidia kuhakikisha kwamba hiyo miche tutaweza kuweka ile ambayo itakuwa drought resistant na ambayo itasaidia in terms of productivity. Tunatilia mkazo mambo ya kuongezea mambo ya quality, kwa sababu our customers wanataka chai yetu ambayo iko na quality ambayo inatakikana katika nchi tofauti including our country here. Kwa hivyo tutaendelea hiyo mikakati ambayo tumekuwa na field days ya kusomesha wakulima. I think the issue of production, we are looking at the issue of quality, and we insisted that our farmers are being trained on how we can be able to sustain high quality for the high quality prices that we are getting in the market. Aspect of also sustaining the fertilizer, which is ideally now is on a high cost because of the international market, and we are optimistic and hopeful that we will be able to work with our stakeholder, including the government, to see how we can be able to afford sustainable fertilizer, which is affordable to the farmers.
National carrier Kenya Airways has announced the resumption of daily flights to Dubai effective Monday, 31st January. In a statement, Kenya Airways said the move follows the ease on travel restrictions that had been issued by the Dubai Civil Aviation Authority on flights from Kenya and other African nations. The airline has now urged travelers to rebook their flights at no cost, with all penalties waived. The move follows the lifting of the travel ban into and out of Dubai from tomorrow, 29th January 2022, which is expected to impact passengers traveling from Kenya, Congo Brazzaville, Congo DRC, Botswana, Ethiopia, Eswatini, Ghana, among other African countries. Travelers are expected to present a valid negative COVID-19 test based on molecular diagnostic test issued within 48 hours of sample collection from an approved health service provider using a QR code system. Additionally, passengers will undergo a PCR test upon arrival in Dubai and self-quarantine until a negative test is released. Now for some sports news, the Safaricom Golf Tour Tournament will kick off this weekend tomorrow at Nanyuki Sports Club in Laikipia County. The two-day tournament comes shortly after the telco launched its Golf Tour series last weekend at Golf Park, Nairobi, with the aim of nurturing and growing talent in golf across the country. The Golf Tour in Nanyuki has attracted 50 junior golfers and 52 corporate golfers in the amateur category who will take part in the 18-hole tournament, which will also be preceded by community engagement at Kano Grounds. The telco has invested 100 million shillings for this inaugural edition of the tour, which will be played in various golf clubs across the country. Tomorrow's tours will mostly feature corporates participating in the tournament, with junior tournaments being held on Sundays and caddies on Monday. And that sports news brings us to the end of this live broadcast. Many thanks for keeping me company, and to the team who made this broadcast a success. Enjoy the rest of your programming. My name is Grace Wangui, and our sign language interpreter tonight has been Fiona Moresa. Bye-bye.